Welcome back to another video with Mrs. Danielle DeVita. I am a relationship and femininity coach. I've been married for 13 years and my goal is to help both men and women be in a relationship that's best for them. And today I am going to be talking about how I got treated better when I dressed better. So I always talk about, being the best version of yourself. I have talked about me being really modest in my dress and, being with my husband. He tells me often, you should dress, more like this, more attractive and things like that. Again, we're still with class, but to dress in a way that grabs more attention. And just and a lot of times when people think about getting attention, we think about getting the attention of the opposite gender. But when you dress, it really should not just to be getting the attention of the opposite gender. It should be getting the attention of, for whatever it is we're trying to do. When you dress for a job, yeah, you want to dress your best. So yes, you want to do it for you, but you are dressing your best so you can get that job interview. When you go certain places, you do want your dress code, your attire to be a representation of you, your brand, your name, your family name, your husband, your children. So you want people, when they see you, it represents your personality. It's a statement of who you are and what you represent. If I was dressed in a particular way, especially back in the day, if you wore, an ankle bracelet on, on your right ankle, it represented something. If you wore this particular stockings, it represented you were a woman of the night. If you wore this, it represented this. If you wore that. So there's a lot of times that when you wear certain things, everything from tattoo, how you wore your hair, even, back in the day, how some women wore their hair, how they did their braids was a representation of their tribe. So a lot of times we think about, your attire and your dress code as, oh, I should just wear what I want. And all in all, you can, right? You can dress however you want, but remember, it's a representation of who you are. It is a part of your brand. It is a representation of, it's almost a statement of your personality and who you are and what circles you run in. If you dress a certain way, someone may know that you are affluent, or if you dress in a bummish way, people may assume that you are homeless. So I would say that when I had an event I was going to, so there's several ways when I've dressed in different attire, I've gotten a different type of attitude from certain people. So when I dressed in a way, I think I was going to some Kentucky Derby and I was dressing really fancy in this really, fancy hat. And let me tell you, the attention I got from people, and again, I'm not talking about the opposite gender, but people went out of their way to treat me a certain type of way. I went to Publix to pick up some stuff, some type of hors d'oeuvres for this particular event that I was going to. And, if you go somewhere like Publix and they say they're out, then they're out. It was a bakery area. And I think I was picking up some petit fours. And they were like, oh yeah, we're out. But stay right here and I'll make you some more now. If you go to Publix, unless it was something that they continually do and it's one of these rotation, they're not just going to make some more. And then this guy, he made some more. Then I went here, and typically, again, I don't go to Publix to get food or drink, but I was trying to, I think my aunt or somebody in the car wanted me to get a drink for them. So I was like, hey, where are the drink machines? It was like right there, and I didn't notice it. The lady was like, don't worry about it. I'll get it for you. Most people will tell you, oh, it's right there, and you're supposed to get your own cup and some ice and something to drink. But the lady walked over and grabbed the ice and made my drink for me. It was like a drink you can get yourself. I was walking down, this is still at Publix now. I was walking down the hall and someone stopped and was like, oh my God, you look so beautiful. Let me get out of your way. And they just like literally moved their buggy so I could walk. And I'm like, so I have to say that was one event. and just even leaving Publix, making another stop, it just seemed like everyone just went out of their way. There's several occasions when I'm dressed. I try to often wear dresses. I'll say I wear dresses pretty often. And I wore this dress and I was in line to mail something, and I think I was short 15 cents or something because it weighed a certain amount. So it was more than what the normal stamp would be. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just go to the car. You know, the car's literally right here. It would take like 10 seconds. I'll go to the car, get you your extra change or whatever. And a person was like, don't worry about it. I got you. Right. And people will hold the doors. Not people typically hold the doors for me, but I mean, I've seen people go out their way. They're already inside and they run to the door just to open it for me. And I notice is when I'm really dressed up. If I came from the gym or if I'm just going to run and pick up my children or drop them off and I'm dressed in either like gym clothes or yoga clothes or just something normal, people would be just normal. It wouldn't be, anything extra. But when I particularly am wearing a dress, I notice a different attitude. I think I've noticed a change. When I was 20 years old, I had an interview and I had this pantsuit on. And it was nice. I was 20. I had a pantsuit on, but I didn't get the job. And I knew I was qualified, but for some reason, something told me like it's something. I noticed that there's a difference when I do wear this particular outfit for an interview versus this. I've noticed the pattern, and I've seen that there was a difference in attitude. So I have learned there's certain colors that you need to wear for an interview, and the particular colors and what they represent when you go to interviews. And I've learned no matter what kind of job it is, a skirt suit is always better than a pantsuit for an interview or for any type of interaction with people. I don't know what it is, but I feel like the dynamic is different. A lot of women say, you wear pantsuits, a power suit, but I've learned that it's something about femininity, even in the workplace, that it puts the other person across from you, even if it's a woman or a man, at a certain level of ease. And again, that's just between a skirt and the pantsuit. And then of course the colors makes a difference as well, what colors you wear. And I'm not going to go all into that, but I noticed there's a difference. I know another time, I know you always dress, even if you're not anticipating on something, it is best to dress for what you want. I remember back in the day, which I'm not that old, but back in the day, they did have paper applications. Now everything you do online. And I was at one point was just only going to pick up applications. And I went to this place to pick up application, and they gave me the paper application. I'm walking out the door and they're like, no, you can do an interview today. I'm like, no, I'm not dressed for interview. I had on a skirt, but it wasn't interviews. It wasn't an interview attire. And they're like, no, they'll see you now. I'm like, no. And I learned from that point on, even if you're asking for application, go as if you were ready to get the job interview. And all I wanted to do that day was just fill out all applications and then have someone call me. And I was so embarrassed because I had on a casual dress and not prepared for an interview. It was just literally walking in to ask for an application. And so I've learned a long time ago that how you dress is a representation of you, a split second, whether you're prepared for it or not. And that also comes to in dating. You can say all day long that you just want to run to the store really quick, but that could be the moment that you saw, this guy saw you. Because a lot of times we talk about, how do you find a great guy? You don't find a great guy. You need to just be there and be available for when this guy finds you. And the only way you can do that is to be in the position and be prepared. And and there's times I've done that, go in yoga outfits or go, in workout attire and just go run errands. But I've learned even in running errands sometimes, I try to dress it up because you never know who you're going to run into. And it's so horrible to be embarrassed, right? A lot of times people go to the airport and they dress like they're just going to get on the plane and go to sleep. Well, you don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know, what type of, interaction you're going to have with people, or people recognize you. You see someone and you weren't expecting to see someone and you're dressed a certain way. I'm telling you, it really sucks when you are not prepared for certain things. And I'm not saying always walk around like you're literally about to be on camera, but I am saying put a little bit more effort in recognizing that how you dress is a representation of how people are going to see you and treat you. People see you a certain way based on how you dress. This is both men and women. If you see a man who's typically dressed sharp, whether it's either in a suit or in regular attire, you will see him a certain way than if you see a dude who always dressed like raggedy. I mean, I've seen men even go to the gym and they still look decent. Like they have on a decent pair of clothes to work out in. I used to just go to the gym and just put on anything. But then I've learned, like, you know what? I can't even do that. I even feel better in workout attire when I dress a certain way, even going to work out. Even from the shoes you wear. I think that people just need to understand that how you dress, people say, oh, I dress for myself. I don't care what anyone thinks. It doesn't matter that you don't care what people think, but people are still going to have that perception of you. And a lot of people don't realize that how you dress and how you carry yourself is a brand. It really is. And I think that if people understood that more, if women understood that more, you might be more available for the man that comes into your life, because that day that man could have come into your life, you could have been dressed like crap. And I was one who used to dress how I feel. So if I felt like crap, I looked like crap. And and you probably hear people say, when you feel bad, actually dress your best, because it will actually perk you up and make you feel better. And that is a true saying. That is true, because there's times when I feel my worst, and if I dress better, I just do a little. I feel a little bit better. I'm saying this because I'm having a lot of women come to me saying, why is it, I'm a good person and men aren't around. And I did a video a while back about, why good girls are overlooked. And a lot of times it is your dress attire. It is. It's because you haven't presented yourself as if he could be around the corner. You're not there and available. You're like how I was going to get an application, but they were ready for the interview. And I wasn't. I wasn't prepared for that interview that day. I just wanted an application. You're that person saying, I want a man, but I'm not ready to be interviewed. I'm not ready for him to see me how I am at this moment. Always be prepared. And again, I'm not saying you need to always walk around with heels and a dress on each and every day, but always dress as if this is the day that this man is going to come into my life. Am I prepared for that? Am I speaking in a way that is going to be memorable for him in a good way? Am I the best version of myself? Am my attire, my actions, my attitude? What if I saw him at work? How am I behaving? Am I when I'm with my friends? Am I even carrying, aware of the company that I keep? So when they see my friends, that friend is a proper representation of who I am, because people look at who your friends are, where you go out, where are you, where are you hanging out? So I just wanted to mention that, because I'm hearing a lot of people saying, well, good men aren't around. No, they're around. But when they were around, you weren't prepared for that interview. A lot of people don't like to look at this like an interview. You interview men as women, be honest. You interview men, even if they don't even know they're being interviewed. You're already sizing him up. You're like that person. From the minute that person walks in to sit down for an interview, you've already kind of made your first impression of who they are before they even open their mouth. Women, be honest. Men, when you see women, you've already sized her up. Before you can find out how a great person she is, you've already determined, based on how she looked, how she carried herself, what she wore, you've already had a predetermination of who you think she is. And that made a determination of whether you give her time of the day to at least allow her to open her mouth and speak to you. All right? So thank you so much for tuning into Mrs. Danielle DeVita. I just wanted to hone in on that briefly, just so you guys can be aware of that. I know the summer is coming to an end, but be aware of that. Just because summer's not ending, you're not showing your legs or your arms or whatever, ladies, understand that men are still going to be looking at you all year long. So are you ready from head to toe? Are you carrying yourself in a way that represents class? That if you're trying to be more modest, represent modesty. If you're trying to be more wife-like, are you representing the wife? Right? Nothing wrong with being attractive and looking that way, but there are lines. And a lot of us today know what those lines are. Actually, we may not know, because the lines are so blurred in today's society, but please understand that. All right? So that is all I have for you. If to learn more about Go to mrsdanielledevita.com. I am on social media, so you can see me on Instagram, Facebook, of course, here on YouTube and TikTok as well. Go ahead and put a comment in. Tell me your thoughts about this particular subject. I am a contributor on the Philip Scott Show, so you will be able to see me on that. You may have seen some of my commercials on the African Diaspora channel. So thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe and hit the like button. Help me go ahead and get to 1,000 subscribers. Take care.